Okay, we're back. Estamos de vuelta. Todos. Are you back? Is everybody there? Yeah, you. Sit down. There we go. Okay, now, are you ready? Okay, today I have Monica with me. Monica, Monica. Hay una canción. Have you heard the song about you, Monica?
I've heard one, yeah.
Oh, yeah? How does it go? How does it go?
Mónica, tu nombre suena.
It's a Spanish song.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm talking Monica, Monica. No. La,
No.
Da, 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 da. I'm not sure. Ask me if Monica is a common name in the English-speaking world.
Is Monica a common name in the English-speaking world?
Word or
World.
world? Word is la palabra habla inglesa. The world. Monica is a relatively common name, not uncommon. Ask me how many Monicas there are in the English-speaking world.
How many Monicas are there in the English-speaking world?
Approximately 200,000. Yeah. Ask me how I know that.
How do you know that?
I love statistics, and so I memorize statistics, okay? Monica, 200,000 Monicas. That's a lot of Monicas,
It is.
you know? How many Monicas? What's the population of Spain?
Around 40 something, 45.
Good.
million.
45 million. So, out of 45 million people, how many Monicas do you think there are?
I don't know.
We'll make a guess. All right. An educated guess.
200.
No, not many. Maybe 20,000.
20,000 only?
20,000 only. No, ask me why I know this.
How do you know this?
Or why do you know this? No, because about about 6 months ago, I was looking at a page of statistics about surnames,
Mm-hmm.
last names, apellidos in Spanish. The most common surname is Perez. And I remember I was surprised because there are only about 80,000 Perez in Spain.
Okay.
I said, oh my God, okay. And then I think the next was Gonzalez or Garcia, I don't remember, very common surnames. And I was surprised that there were not so many. And it also said where you found the most. For example, Perez was very common in the center of Spain, Gonzalez in Navarra.
Mm-hmm.
Things, it's very interesting, okay. And I would like to look at that again. All right. Dominando el interrogativo, mastering the interrogative. This is easy. Formulating questions, young lady. I will say the affirmative, and you say the question
Okay.
that would elicit. Interesting verb, used a lot in English with no translation. To elicit is sacar, sonsacar, extraer una reacción ante un estímulo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If I hit you on the head, or if I throw this water into your face, it will elicit a reaction. Do you
Yes.
understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. So, I will say the affirmative, and you formulate the interrogative that would naturally elicit dicho afirmativo. Okay? I called him from Burgos.
Where did you call him from?
Good. Repeat.
Where did you?
Where?
Where did you call him from?
Yeah, where did you call him from? I called him from Burgos. This book is for Pauline.
Who is this book for?
No lo puedes tocar. Who is that?
Who is that book for?
All right, this book is for Pauline. That letter is from Andrew.
Who is that letter from?
Who is that letter from? When you saw me, I was talking to Jennifer.
What were you doing when I saw you?
Well, I was standing talking on the phone. Okay?
Okay.
And now, when you saw me, Monica,
Okay.
when you saw me, I was talking to Jennifer.
Who were you talking to when I saw you?
Good. I was talking to Jennifer.
Okay.
You have nothing against Jennifer, do you?
No, I don't.
All right, good. Do you know Jennifer?
No, I don't.
All right. Ask me if I know her well.
Do you know her well?
Yes, I do. Ask me where she's from.
Where is she from? Where is she from?
Where is she from? She's from Kansas. Ask me how long I've known her.
How long have you known her?
I've known her for I've known her since 1970. So I've known her for 37 and a half years. Ask me where she's from in Kansas.
Where is she from in Kansas?
She's from Salina. Yeah, Salina, de sal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they say in Kansas, Salina. Yes. And ask me how often I see her.
How often do you see her?
Well, the last time I saw her was in 1973. Okay. But I was talking to her the other day.
Okay.
All right? Ask me why I was talking to her.
Why were you talking to her?
Because I found her over the internet. Ask me why I found her.
Why did you find her?
Because she's the governor of Kansas now. All right? So, she's a very important lady. All right. So the next one, I'm worried about the new project.
What are you worried about?
Yeah, I'm worried about the new project. Ask me if I worry a lot.
Do you worry a lot?
No, I don't. Ask me if I'm worried about anything right now.
Are you worried about anything right now?
Yes, I am. Ask me what I'm worried about.
What are you worried about?
I'm worried about the future of mankind. All right? Ask me if I lose sleep about that.
Do you lose sleep about that?
No, I don't. Do you worry about the future of mankind?
Not now.
Not really. To be worried, are you concerned about the future of mankind?
Not really.
Not really? Do you think mankind will survive the next millennium, this millennium?
I think so, yeah.
You think so? Do you think in 1,000 years, people like you and me will still be here?
I think so, yes.
You think so? Do you think they will be more intelligent or less intelligent than we are today?
That I don't know.
Well, what do you think? Come on.
More intelligent.
Mójate.
They will be more intelligent.
They'll be more intelligent, okay? And do you think technology will be able to solve every problem?
Not every problem.
All right. Do you think psychological problems will still exist in
Yes.
1,000 years?
Yes, I think so.
All right. Do you think physical problems, problems of, for example, food, clothing, do you think they will still exist?
Probably not.
Probably not. Do you think all of our material concerns, preocupaciones materiales, do you think all our material concerns will be solved?
I think we'll be able to create new ones.
New ones, okay. Do you think poverty will exist?
I think so, yes.
You think so? La pobreza existirá?
I think so.
All right. Technology is advancing very, very fast now. Very, very fast. Okay. In most areas. In some areas it isn't. Ask me where technology is not moving fast, in my opinion.
Where is technology not moving fast, in your opinion?
Medium technology, for example, in the technology of cars, automobiles. The engines today are practically exactly the same as 100 years ago. How do you say the combustión interna? You don't know.
Inside.
Internal combustion.
Okay.
Yes. An engine is based on explosions, small explosions, but powerful. They're strong. You can, if you put your finger, it's not possible, of course, because it's inside a cylinder. But if you could insert your finger into the cylinder, when the piston goes up and the spark ignites, you understand ignites? The gas, and bam, it pushes the piston down. You could lose your finger. That's how strong it is. And ask me how many explosions per minute there are in a car.
How many explosions per minute are there in a car?
Well, it depends on if it's a 4-cylinder engine or a 6-cylinder or an 8-cylinder engine. But you can easily have 400, 500 explosions per minute. Well, you know, you say 4,000 revoluciones por minuto. That means the crankshaft is turning 2,000 times or 4,000 times a minute. Okay, that's fast. So those pistons are moving up and down, and it's incredible. And the timing is perfect. Okay, you say sincronización en este caso, because from the gas tank, el depósito de combustible, gasolina en este caso, the gas tank, it sends gasoline, the pump, el bomba de gas, sends gasoline to the, and it's changed into a vapor and injected. It's injected with injectors. And at the same time, the electrical system is sending an electric discharge that creates a spark. How do you say chispa?
Spark.
Spark, and they coincide. Bam. At the same time, the piston is coming up. And when the piston comes up and compresses the air and heat, it gets hot in that little, what's left of the chamber. And then boom, bam, it sends it down. And the push rod, you know, kake, it pushes down, the push rod goes down and moves the cigüeñal, the crankshaft. And it's totally mechanical, totally mechanical. All right, the basic elements of a car, even today, even the best cars in the world, the cars you see that our friend Mr. Alonso is driving is based on a very rudimentary technology that has not changed in 100 years. All right? So in some areas, things have advanced a lot, and others, they're apparently not, if you really think about it. But in 1,000 years, will we need cars? You don't know?
No?
All right. Will we need tomography in 1,000 years?
Maybe, yes, I don't know.
All right. Okay. This is too esoteric. Okay. Mastering the interrogative. I'm nervous about my presentation tomorrow.
What are you nervous about?
What are you nervous about? I'm nervous about my presentation tomorrow. Ask me what kind of presentation I'm going to give.
What kind of presentation are you going to give?
I'm going to give a presentation on irregular verbs.
Okay.
Yeah. Ask me how long it's going to last.
How long is it going to last?
It's going to last for 1 hour. Ask me if I can fill up an hour on irregular verbs.
Can you fill up an hour with irregular verbs?
Can you fill up an hour on irregular verbs? On. Sobre. El tema de. Fill up an hour with irregular verbs. Parece que físicamente estás colocando verbos irregulares dentro de esa hora. To fill up, yeah, I can fill up an hour on irregular verbs. It's quite easy. Ask me how many irregular verbs there are in the English language.
How many irregular verbs are there in the English language?
Verbs?
Verbs.
Good. Verbs son eructos. Okay, verbs. Eructos irregulares no hay muchos. Oh, bueno, a lo mejor hay muchos. Verbs. There are around 150 irregular verbs in the English language. Ask me how many of them I consider important.
How many of them do you consider important?
For verbal speech, I only consider about 70, 72, 73, 75 maybe as important. Ask me what the most important irregular verb is.
What is the most important irregular verb?
Verb?
Verb.
Probably no. To be. The verb to be, of course, is the most important irregular verb. And the next one, I'm thinking about an old girlfriend of mine.
What are you thinking about?
Yeah, I'm thinking about an old girlfriend of mine. Ask me if I know where she lives.
Do you know where she lives?
Yes, I do. Ask me where she lives.
Where does she live?
She lives between Dallas and the Red River. Yeah. Do you know where the Red River is?
No, I don't.
Have you ever seen the Red River?
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ask me where you have seen the Red River.
In the Grand Canyon?
No?
No. Okay.
No. Have you seen the Grand Canyon?
Yes, I have.
Now, what river passes through the Grand Canyon?
I don't remember.
Come on, you say El Gran Cañón del
Colorado.
Colorado.
Red River, okay.
Del Colorado, pero eso no es the Red River.
Oh, okay.
No, el Río Rojo is the Red River.
Oh, okay.
El Río Colorado in English is the Colorado River.
Okay.
There are two Colorado rivers. One that goes from the Rocky Mountains in Colorado to the, I don't know what you call it, El Mar. There's in between Baja California and Mexico. Mexico goes into that area. And it passes through, it creates the Grand Canyon. Okay, now on the other side, there's another one that goes the other way. It's called the Colorado that empties into, se vacía al, desemboca en. It empties into the Gulf of Mexico, and it passes through Texas. It's less important, but it's an important river, but less important than the other, less famous.
Okay.
Now, the Red River is not the Colorado.
Okay.
Okay, now, although Colorado in español significa rojo. Okay. Now, the Red River is the border between Texas and Oklahoma. And I'm sure you've seen, ask me where you have seen the Red River.
Where have I seen the Red River?
On Hollywood movies.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a Western?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever seen a Western where the cows are crossing a river?
Yes, I have.
Vacas. Thousands of cows. That's the Red River.
Okay.
Okay. Because the cowboys, the real cowboys, not the Hollywood cowboys, the real cowboys moved cows over a distance of about 2,500 kilometers, 2,000 kilometers, from the south of Texas to Kansas. Okay. Ask me why they moved the cows to Kansas.
Why do they move the cows to Kansas? Why did they move the cows to Kansas?
Because the cows needed to go to the slaughterhouse. Okay. How do you say slaughterhouse in Spanish?
Matadero.
El matadero. The slaughter, slaughter, is matar tipo matanza, o sea, de animales. También se usa figurativamente cuando es diezmar una población, to slaughter. Okay. The slaughterhouse was located in Kansas City, the closest, the nearest slaughterhouse. And the railroad, do you understand? Ferrocarril. The railroad started in Dodge City, Kansas. That was, at that time, it's very expensive to build railroads, especially in Spain was the orografía. There's so many mountains. But in the United States, it's so big,
Yes.
It's a lot of steel, acero, a lot of wood, okay, and a lot of workers, and a lot of kilometers and kilometers and kilometers. So they built railroads from Chicago to St. Louis, to the Mississippi River. From St. Louis, crossing Missouri territory, Missouri was not a state yet, to Kansas City. And then from Kansas City, into the west. Okay, it's very far. And they reached Dodge City, and they stopped. That's where the railroad stopped until the next 5 years later, they started again. And the cows were moved to Dodge City to get onto the train and to go to Kansas City, to be slaughtered. Okay, so the cowboys went with the cows, and perhaps 20 cowboys and 10,000 cows. All right, and we've seen it on the movies. And they were moving the cows from the south of Texas, where there were millions of stray cows. Stray viene de la misma raíz que extraviado. Stray. Como bandeja, tray, con ese delante, stray. Okay? Stray cows, which are cows with no owners. So the businessmen sent the cowboys to round up cows, stray cows, and to move them north. Now, to move them north was 2,000 kilometers. So they spent 6 or 7 months. They went in the late winter, very early spring, rounded up the cows and began to move. And they needed to arrive by September because the weather was getting too cold. And the cows could eat the grass along the way in the springtime and in the summer. You understand? So all of them were going at the same time, what we call cattle drives. Conducciones de ganado. Cattle is ganado, vacuno, ganado vacuno. Cattle. ¿Y ganado en general? ¿Cómo se dice?
I don't know.
How do you say existencias or stock?
Stock.
Stock.
Okay.
How do you say vivo? Estamos en vivo, hoy.
Live.
Live. Vivo, existencias vivas?
Livestock.
Livestock.
Okay, livestock.
Have you ever heard of livestock? The
No,
word?
I haven't.
Livestock is ganado. Lanar, ovino, porcino, vacuno, bovino. Several of those are the same. You say ganado lanar y ganado ovino, it's the same thing. You say bovino y vacuno, it's the same thing. What's the difference between ganado bovino and ganado vacuno in Spanish?
Nothing.
Is one for milk and the other for meat? Or what? You don't know?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Okay.
But in any case, cattle, escrito catle, doble T en medio, es ganado bovino o vacuno. All right? And these cattle, longhorns, those cuernilargos, okay, they were moved north and eating grass along the way. And the first part was Comanche country. And then when they crossed the Red River, it became Osage Indian, Shawnee country, other types of tribes. Then when they went into Kansas, it was more protected by cowboys, well, by the law officers and by the cavalry, caballería, okay, the cavalry. And so they went to Dodge City. And all the cattle drives arrived in Dodge City in a period of 1 month. Okay? And the cowboys were paid on one day everything for the 7 months of work. So they received a lot of money when they reached Dodge City. All right? And so the first thing they did was to take a bath and go to the saloon to look for a drink and women. And so it all happened in a period of 1 month. So they said Dodge City, Ciudad Sin Ley.
Okay.
It was very difficult. It was a lawless. It was not true because there were police there, the marshals, Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, very famous people. Have you ever heard of Wyatt Earp?
Yeah, in a movie.
Okay. Have you ever heard of? Siempre of.
Okay.
Si yo hubiera dicho, have you ever heard from? ¿Tienes noticias de él? Okay. So you've heard of Wyatt Earp. Well, he was a marshal there. A United States Marshal. Now, sheriff is a local person. Marshal is federal.
Okay.
Okay? So before the appearance of the FBI, the federal FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the person of the marshal was the representative of the law, federal law, in the different territories of the United States. And he was a marshal in Dodge City. So he made sure law and order prevailed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Law and order, ley orden, okay? And it was a wild town, but only for 1 or 2 months, okay? The rest of the year it was very calm, with the families living there, okay? But that's where the railroad ended, okay? And later the railroad continued, but they didn't build a ramal or something. They didn't build a branch to Texas, so they needed to continue going up, okay? But this happened over a period of about 15 or 20 years. It was the golden age, the glorious period of the cattle drives, okay? Ask me if my ancestors were involved in those cattle drives.
Were your ancestors involved in those cattle drives?
No, they weren't, but they saw them because they were living in Texas at that time. Ask me when my family moved to Texas.
When did your family move to Texas?
They moved to Texas in 1842. 1842. Ask me why. Ask me where they lived before moving to Texas.
Where did they live before moving to Texas?
They lived in Missouri. Now, is Missouri west of the Mississippi or east of the Mississippi?
I don't know.
Ask me.
Is Missouri west of the Mississippi or east of the Mississippi?
It's west of the Mississippi.
Okay.
Every American knows the east or west of the Mississippi. That's the orientation point in the United States, the Mississippi River. It's just west. St. Louis, Missouri is located on the Mississippi. So the Mississippi divides Tennessee and Illinois from Missouri. Okay, from Missouri. And so it's the Mississippi River. And then my ancestors, my great-great-grandfather and his family were living in Missouri. Ask me why they went to Texas.
Why did they go to Texas?
Good, repeat please.
Why did they go to Texas?
On doctor's orders, on doctor's recommendation. Ask me if my great-great-grandfather had a problem.
Did your great-great-great-grandfather
Dos veces.
Great-great-grandfather had a problem?
Have
a problem.
Mi tatarabuelo. Yes. Ask me what kind of problem he had.
What kind of problem did he have?
He had allergies, asthma.
Okay.
And so the doctor recommended going to Texas because the climate in central and west Texas is drier. Okay, in Missouri it's a bit humid.
Okay.
Because of the Missouri River and the Mississippi River are tremendous rivers. And the Missouri crosses directly across Missouri territory and the Mississippi and goes into the Mississippi at St. Louis. Okay? So they went to Texas and arrived in 1842. Asked you if Texas was a territory of the United States at that time.
Was Texas a territory of the United States at that time?
No, it wasn't. Asked if it belonged to Mexico.
Did it belong to Mexico?
No, it didn't. Asked me what its status was.
What was its status?
It was an independent country.
Okay.
Yeah. Asked me how long Texas was an independent country.
How long was Texas an independent country?
For 9 years. From 1836. You've heard of the Alamo, you know?
Yes.
That was in 1836 to 1845. But they decided to join the Union because it was, in opinion of the Texas politicians and leaders, it was a better idea to join the Union and not to be located between two big countries, Mexico and the United States. So they decided to join the United States. And asked me if my great-great-grandfather got better in Texas.
Did your great-great-grandfather get better in Texas?
I don't know, but he died 6 years later.
Okay.
When he was still young. So apparently it was not the best recommendation. All right, he died. And then my great-grandfather was only about 10 years old at that time. And he was the eldest son. So he was the man of the house.
Wow.
And he did become a very serious, responsible man. And we can continue the story another day. But it's an interesting story of my family. The different lines of my family that were all in Texas very early, okay? And it's quite interesting stories, I can tell you. But we have to go. Well, you have to go. Techo.
Okay.
I'm going to kick you out, but I'm going to continue with you because I'll be back in just a few minutes. So please don't go too far away. Stay close to the TV because I'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you.